morning, friends. I think it's a nice weather today. Considering heat of Delhi and a light shower yesterday. I think Adrian talked about a billion subscribers on the 4G, which is interesting to know that at least there is a huge growth on 4G happening. We also know that India is after China one of the biggest market in the world, and everybody wants to come and operate, and we are no different, lagging behind in terms of network infrastructure. We do have 4G here. Of course, it's in the stage of growing and going to the next stage. But we also have challenges in terms of more than likely operators, which we see rest of the world. So it comes to economics of we pay huge money on spectrum, and the business case for the last 3G and now going forward 4G, will it really be helpful, and will we see that kind of growth which is there in the rest of the world or not? So I think I just wanted to share some of the trends, which obviously is a known fact around the world. 4G brings four things. You have real time. You have a lot of data which is online and streaming. Unlike you don't need to see any buffering. You can do a lot of analytics, and of course you can differentiate the customers. So it is bringing up and opening up a lot of opportunities which were not possible in the previous generation of wireless. So we see in the last 5 years of data generated on mobile as well as on computer is more than the last 100 years. So and it's basically booming off videos, which is enabling many fold of data coming. And with the networks of 4G and going down forward into 5G, I think we will see more of that happening. So what does for operators, it is translating back to, yes, they are able to give a lot of streaming, a lot of data, and but they are still doing this on a mass basis. Are they really differentiating the customers? Because our customers are different, especially the smartphone users are different from one to another. And the technologies which are available today to really check what one customer is doing vis-a-vis another customer, can we really differentiate? I think that's one of the area in which around the world many operators are trying to do things to differentiate, so that they can get certain more revenue generating streams within the 4G. So I think this slide talked about basically data, smartphones, and of course within this gamut of this, are we really going down to the part, specifically in India, the way we discounted in 2008 and 9 the voice, are we doing the same thing in going forward on data as well? So which is not a healthy sign. I think we also see on the other side a new emerging opportunities. A recent study by McKinsey last year said that once you have a high bandwidth connectivity, there are a host of applications which can be done with this mobile network, which can generate huge revenue. So if you can see that it's between $4 to $11 trillion of connected devices revenue, and it goes down from vehicle management to office security to factory automation to healthcare and in logistics and multiple things. So on one side we're seeing a high connectivity, but it's not only the telco who needs to provide the services only for data and streaming to the end customer. There are other industrial applications which are emerging, and that probably is another stream which will help operator to really see that how can they utilize this. Some of this we are seeing that in the world very prominently progressing, especially on the healthcare, on some of the transportation, as well as some specific industries, so which are anyway coming to generate revenue, real revenue. But I'm sure that in times to come we will see a lot of this happening, and this is something, an emerging opportunity which we foresee is something which India can also think, and with Digital India being an initiative, a lot of smart cities getting enabled, I am sure that we will have this opportunity as opportunity to garner. So some of the worldwide trends which we foresee specifically for 4G operators. T-Mobile last month launched Eat as much as you can of streaming as an application, so that because they knew that devices are always connected, and to differentiate people on various plans are what people are wanting to use. So they found that instead of having so much of videos getting downloaded, let us give a monthly pack free as part of the bundling to the end customer in terms of streaming, which really worked well in the last month and a half. And on the other side, on OTT player, there are certain application which operator know that either you tie up with them or they won the game. So it's better to have a tie up with them and then see that how can you create value addition on both sides. So we see that on Netflix and HBO as preferred partner, which are typically given free as one of some of the modules, and some which are charged. Now, apart from this, Adrian probably will know more on this. There are 3 GPP standards which are getting generated for application-based charging as a standard, so that I only not get charged for the content which I'm doing in one country while I'm roaming. That same application can be charged in a similar fashion. So there are standards now getting generated because with 4G 4G is primarily a game of data, and the data has to be monetized on an application content basis and differentiation of consumer and the streaming. So these are some of the models which we are seeing are emerging, and some of them are obviously beneficial to the people. The third area which we foresee is, given you are always connected, there are dynamics of analytics which you can check what the consumer is doing, and given it's a high speed connectivity in real time, so you have real time what the customer is doing, and then you also have analysis or connectivity to what he's doing. So this is a very powerful tool to really check what customer is doing and give him an offer on a real time basis, which has a much higher propensity to go through and get bought than the traditional way of doing a lot of data mining and then coming up with certain plans, and those plans may work, may not work. So 4G is also giving you around the world a way of mostly, you choose your plan. You can change your plan. You can change your plan on the fly. You have certain packages, and while you're using these packages, a pop-up comes that this package is getting expired. Maybe you can buy another package which will help you to discount which was the previous package used. So some of these norms, primarily on the application, are getting launched, and this is a very new emerging area to check the analytics and then hit the customer and can instantly generate revenue, which has different name in various parts of the world, but I will take it as smart pricing. So forget and gone are the days where operator used to come up with 10, 20, 30 pricing models and then send and then see and wait whether it works or not, and then do a data mining again and tweak it. It's all real time. Whatever an individual customer is doing, you have to give him an individual plan if you really want to satisfy him. So that's the power of 4G connectivity which we are seeing, and this is a trend which is something which we are seeing. And I know a few operators in India who are trying to do this, and this is something very similar to what the rest of the world is doing. So we are no different, trying to differentiate some of the customer in India than the rest of the world. So I think this is one study which I would like to share as to what many studies have concluded and said that what will happen in India in the next 5 years. So I've divided the phase into 3 phases. You have till 2016, then you have midterm till 2018, and then a long-term basis. So if you see till last year to this year, we saw a lot of tie-up happening on the OTT player. Many operators launched Facebook free pack and many other packages free and monthly packages. So there was a lot of partnership between the OTT player and the operator. On the other side, we also saw that from last year till this year, there is a very high 2-digit growth of smartphones. Of course, the prices are coming down. and we are seeing a huge adoption of smartphone. It's from a growth perspective, is highest in the world. So India is experiencing the highest growth in the world in terms of growth for smartphones. Of course, we have huge population of billions of drivers. We have not reached there, but it's still growing. And with those smartphones, you tend to get a lot of new applications which people can do. Of course, LTE started as a deployment last year, and we are seeing that happening, and we are seeing that growing. So I would see that these two areas, and the third area which has grown very, very fast in India is video. I think any TV channel which we use, if we miss any of the episode, the next day we can go to YouTube and really watch that. So there's so much of video streaming which is happening for every individual guy. Whatever he wants to watch and wish, it's available. If nothing else, it's available on YouTube and some of the global sites for all the content which is being generated in India. So going forward in the next 1 or 2 years, what we see is that we will see a lot of IoT getting enabled, a lot of devices, especially on medical. People will definitely be sitting here, will have more than one device or more than two devices with them. So there will be more devices than a basic connectivity of a voice or data device. So you will have an application connectivity device with you. That's another area which will emerge. And of course, going forward on a longer term basis, when you have realization of 5G, primarily all IP network, we will see that all those devices which are connected around us will generate a lot of analytics, and we will get services by virtue of those devices. So it's going to be more comfort of the life, and we will be more complicated, and of course we will see all of us connected with multiple devices, and that's what Adrian was talking about. Ericsson study or Cisco study till 2025, 50 billion devices or so. Yes, it will happen. It may year or two here and there, but this is also going to happen in India as well. So when you have so many devices, you have so many applications. Is there a system to really check what is happening, give analytics, give rating, give charging? And I think that's what our company does. So 2 slides on what Redknee is. It's a Canadian-based company. We are very strong on the real-time charging and rating. We are the biggest company in the world in terms of independent software real-time charging as a platform. And we have customers not only on the communication area, but we have on the transport, utility, and automobile. And yes, we have 2 set of suites. One is a communication, which is for communication provider, and the other one is for IoT. So we see that in times to come, IoT and CSP or digital CSP will play a critical role. And to garner that approach and go into the platform, we run some of the biggest platform in the world for BMW as a company worldwide. We run their platform on an IoT basis, and there are energy companies like Meralco and Japan and Tokyo Power and all that. So I think this is in short what we do, and this is my view of how things are happening. And I'm sure I think we'll have more discussion during the day to really see India was also growing fast on 4G, but how will they differentiate themselves locally to provide differentiated services and garner not beyond telco customers only, but rest of the industry, how will they be enabled and utilized to garner opportunity for these operators to make money. Thank you very much.